we're glass half full here. So much going on in the world that is getting everybody down. Seems like it's falling apart. But here comes the NFL to bring us all together. And I've got five storylines that would make the NFL more fun in 2021. I've been cultivating this caper, sort of like my Lufthansa heist. I started thinking about this in July during quarantine when I'm coming back from COVID, staring out a window in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm thinking I need to be more positive in life, try to be as positive as possible.
Life is short.
So the idea was hatched so long ago that my top storyline that would have made the NFL more fun in 2021 was Tim Tebow going on a legendary run as a tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So these storylines may not happen, but we're gonna put this on our NFL hope chest. Certainly for the fan bases that this would affect positively. And I understand that some of these you might say, that's not fun for me because you don't particularly like this team or feel that this team is standing in your way. That's my preamble. Mike Del Tufo, I need your best NFL Films music to just get me going, get me rolling, hit me in the gut. Yes. First storyline that would make the NFL more fun in 2021 is if this guy takes this team on a long run. And this guy is Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is on, I have looked it up, he is on his 91st NFL team.
That would be a record.
And he's got a chance here with a terrific defense, keeping maybe the opponent to a couple touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. So Fitzmagic gets out there and sees windows all over the D.C. area. He's throwing them in windows he has no business throwing them into. But in that window comes Terry McLaurin.
Oh.
In that window comes Curtis Samuel. In that window comes Logan Thomas. Yes, he's 38 years old. He's 74 inches tall. His friends are Terry and Curtis, and he's in his first year of day 17 back in the day. And his first year of year 17 is coming up this month for the Washington football team. If Ryan Fitzpatrick comes in and finally gets the shot and doesn't relinquish the reins and is the starter and takes the Washington football team deep into January, dare I say February.
Oh.
What a storyline that would be to watch it all play out. That's number one. Number two is this team has forgotten its roots. It has. The team's forgotten its roots. It's done very well forgetting its roots, burying its roots. It's done very well in recent years, flinging it all around, having their future Hall of Fame quarterback put it up 40, 50 times a game. It's worked. Not so much in the last quarter of last year it didn't work. Got too one-dimensional. What did they do? They went and drafted a rookie running back. Storyline number two that would make the 2021 season a lot more fun in the NFL is if Najee Harris throws the Steelers back to their run-first roots and just bowls people over. Yes, I know he can catch it out of the backfield as well. Maybe he's got that Lev Bell in him in that respect. But Najee Harris running it 15, 20, 25 times a game. Big Ben doesn't have to win it with his arm or his legs, which he doesn't really have much under him anymore, neither of them. Maybe he gets stronger in the third and fourth quarter, and the Heinz Field fans get up on their feet, and they're talking about, yeah, the bus, Franco, that sort of stuff. Barry Foster, that sort of stuff. That's possible. That could be coming soon to an NFL field near you. That's number two. Number three on this list is he's a forgotten man. Forgotten man that was putting up unforgettable plays for many a moon before he became a forgotten man due to a blown out knee. But it looks like he's coming back. And you know he's got more chips on his shoulder than anybody in the history of shoulders and chips. What if Odell Beckham Jr. won Comeback Player of the Year for a Cleveland Browns team that went on a nice run without him last year, and that whole narrative of they're better off without Odell, and he heard all that.
Right.
He heard all that, and he stored it away. Odell comes back and one hand grabs this and one hand grabs that, and all of a sudden that offense with Chubb and the rest of those receivers has got Odell acting and being that number one receiver. that he used to be? Oh, baby. We're all talking about Nick Chubb running a ball and it's Baker's time and all that. But what if it's Odell's time just as much? And he's the guy that helps the Browns take the next step. That would be a great storyline. These are all fun storylines.
Positive.
Yeah.
I like it.
Next up, everybody thinks this guy's washed.
Oh,
LeBron?
LeBron?
No,
Plays in the NFL?
well, he's a guy. I think people think he is washed.
Trolls.
I think people think he is washed. I think he thinks at least that. Because he takes every kernel. He's one of those special players and athletes. Every kernel. Everybody knows he's out there reading timelines or believes he's out there reading timelines. He's accused of that. He has been. And he's on a new team for the first time in his career, just like TB12. He chose a spot that was warm when he was looking for a spot to continue on in his career. What if, talk about a fun storyline in 2021, what if JJ Watt rises in Phoenix and he's the one who provides the leadership and leads the Cardinals in their post-Fitz world? Another guy with that Walter Payton Man of the Year patch on his Arizona Cardinals uniform. Think about it. You're looking around that locker room. Who's the one who's going to lead that charge? Kyler's going to come into his own shore. D-Hop is the man. J.J. Watt coming there, and in that stadium, when the fans show up in their red shirts and their red socks and underwear because they're so into the red there.
Red Sea.
And there's only two guys that I've seen personally in the NFL whose play has plugged directly into the fans, directly into the crowd, and gotten their emotions so high that it's so difficult for the opponent to overcome. It's Marshawn Lynch in Seattle and J.J. Watt in Houston. What if he brings that to Arizona? Nobody's talking about J.J. Watt right now. What if the three-time Defensive Player of the Year shows up in that division and that team and performs the way that we've seen J.J. Watt perform? Oh, yeah. Here's the last one. Here's my fifth storyline that would make the NFL season more fun. Anything involving a rookie quarterback doing well always does, right?
Yeah, right.
Always does. And we know there's 5 first-round drafted quarterbacks in the NFL. They're all over the landscape. West Coast, Trey Lance. Heartland of the country, Justin Fields. Southeast part of the country, Mr. Trevor Lawrence. Only 2 guys, though, are sitting there in the crucible of the Northeast, and they just happen to be on 2 teams, to use the old Keith Jackson phrase, they plain don't like each other. Jets, Patriots rivalry. Getting a dose of Zach versus Mac. What if these 2 kids light it up and provide 2 college football wild affairs where winging it all over the lot.
Now we're talking.
And defense is making a play every now and then. Belichick's defense, one would think, would make it more often, but here comes Robert Saleh. He's not kissing rings, but he's also not the guy who's going to come out and say, I'm not here to kiss Bill's rings. Not since the old Curtis Martin taking it away Dave, taking him out of New England, putting him in New York days. Not since Parcells leaving, and Belichick and all of that business has this rivalry really gotten a shot of anything. I'm saying Zach versus Mac twice over with 2 terrific games would be the way to give the NFL season a little bit more fun. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.